Hello, so we're going to be doing a mock IEP. So in today's Zoom meeting is the following IEP members. Kara Koppler, speech therapist. Lane Podell, lead representative. Oscar Vallejo, occupational therapist. May Smith, mom. Danielle Lee. Jacqueline Dahl, which is me, special education teacher. Varnia Damirjan, counselor. And so the reason we are meeting today is for May Smith's annual review meeting. Just to be sure, when you look at your papers next to you, are the name, the address, the birth date accurate for May Smith? Oh, I don't hear anything. Must be correct. Awesome. So there are no inaccuracies, so let's proceed to this annual meeting. I want to say thank you to all who came to this meeting for taking time to come out for this annual review meeting for my wonderful student, Meg. Danielle Lee, I just want to say what a pleasure it is to have your daughter in my classroom. It is such an honor. She is such a joy. She always brings these cute little stuffed animals to class, and oh my gosh, it's just so cute. I love it. Just every day is like a different squishy, and it just makes my day. It brightens my day. Is there any concerns you want to discuss before we go into the IEP agenda? Oh, no? Silence? Okay, perfect. Let's continue. Let's get this IEP rolling. Okay, just so everyone feels heard and respected, we're going to go over some quick norms so to make sure the IEP is rolling nicely, smoothly. So the key norms are going to be promoting active listening. So I want everyone to be listening with their ears, okay? Allowing one speaker at a time, so no one speak over each other, okay? Encouraging respectful communication, ensuring participation equality, fostering open mindfulness, additional norms involving providing constructive feedback, managing cell phone usage, maintaining confidentiality. So we are not going to be talking about what we hear in this meeting. That is not okay. It's very legal. Adhering to the agenda, raising concerns appropriately. So when you have a concern, please let me continue the agenda that is planned, and then we can talk about your concerns. Emphasizing time management. These norms collectively contribute to a collaborative and inclusive meeting environment. So what will we be discussing today? We're going to be reviewing the PLAAFP, including the discussion of the test results, present levels, goals, services, least restrictive environment statement, extended school year, procedural safeguards, and written notice. Does anyone have any questions or concerns before we continue to our annual IEP meeting? I don't hear anyone, so we must keep going on to this IEP. So we're going to go right now into their present level of academic achievement and functional performance, okay? PLAAFP. So we're going to review that right now, and then we'll go into reviewing their test results. So Meg gets specialized academic instruction, SIL, for all subjects, English, math, science, history, PE, and electives. For 1,470 minutes weekly, speech and language for 240 minutes monthly, and 30 minutes small group per week. Occupational therapy, consult collaboration, and special education class for 30 minutes monthly. Individual counseling, social work services, service provider location for 30 minutes monthly. Areas of eligibility is going to be autism, special education primary category, autism. Now let's go into her test results. Okay, this is going to be state and district. ELA, SBAC, she got a score of 2,257. Unfortunately, standards were not met. This was last year, 2019, so actually a few years ago. So she's definitely, if she took this test, I'm sure she'd do a lot better. Math, SBAC, again, about the same range, 2,322, standards not met. Again, it was in 2019, so I'm sure if she would take this test again, she would do a lot better. And I believe 2019 was during COVID, so it's tough on a kiddo. All right. So reading, state reading assessments is 1,662. That was her score. There was no level for that, and that was in 2023. Reading zone approximate development was 3.9 through 6.0, and that was within this year, 2023. Any questions or concerns with the testing? I know she didn't meet some of those standards, but it's not like she's not going to meet them. She'll definitely meet them. Just give her time, and we'll work through it. Like she's gonna get some better results for sure. Okay, so any questions, concerns? Nope. Quiet. You guys are so quiet today. All right, present levels. So we're gonna go cognitive functioning. These are kind of lengthy, so bear with me. So Meg's present with overall patterns of average cognitive processing with a strength in crystallized knowledge in Google Classroom. Meg standard scores range from average to below average for crystallized intelligence, long-term storage and retrieval, short-term memory, visual processing, fluid reasoning, process speed, and auditory processing. Meg's cognitive processing score improved from her last triennial, so that's good. Awesome. But her weakness is auditory processing. Phonological processing stayed consistent. Meg currently presents with many prerequisite skills needed to be successful in reading, writing, and completing mathematical tasks. However, she presents with several academic weaknesses. This may be due to anxiety. She experiences school and difficulty regulating those emotions. Meg Smith, she does have a lot of anxiety, but we're working through it. And she's doing better this year, but she still does have a lot of anxiety. Communication. Meg met her current speech language goal pertaining to idioms and comparing perspectives with peers. Well, that's good. That's awesome. See, we're moving on here. We're doing well. While she has demonstrated significant gains in her overall pragmatic and social skills, she continues to rules for discussion within the speech language location. She would not struggle with pragmatic language, including the following agreed upon benefit from further speech language therapy working on these skills. So she's going to continue speech therapy. It's okay. It's good. All right. Physical, motor abilities, and recreational leisure. Meg is able to participate in all PE activities independently. She also does buddy groups now, which is really cool. She gets to hang out with general education students. And produces liable written work at school. She benefits from typing writing assignments using digital platforms and does not experience sensory processing challenges that adversely impact her ability to participate in educational curriculum. Let's go into social, emotional. Meg has adjusted well to middle school campus, has a few friends in her class. When she's in class, she is a social butterfly, and she is so silly. She makes silly voices. It's just when she's around her peers that are general education students, she gets a little anxious, but we're working through it. Like I said, she's in a PE class currently right now, and she's doing really well with talking with some of her peers her age. Still a process, but we're working through it. She can carry on conversations with adults or peers on topics of interest she highly prefers. Meg is able to play games in class, but does not consistently use functional communication when she's feeling anxious, stressed, or frustrated. She needs to work on using functional communication to ask for help and ask for a break or explain her feelings instead of shutting down. She does have a problem with pushing papers off her desk, work refusal, and eloping from class. This has happened. She's got a lot better, but she still sometimes does it. It's okay. Again, still working through it. We all have bad days, and sometimes we don't react the best, but, working through it. Just like we're working through this IEP, okay? I'm just kidding. Anyways, adaptive self-care, living independent. Meg can care for her personal needs independently after school, change for PE independently. She uses the restroom. She's very independent. She needs to work on asking for help with difficulty and confusing assignments. Yes, she still needs work with challenging issues when she gets anxious, regulating those emotions, but we all do. But Meg does as well, so we're just working through it. All right, current classroom-based data. So much data, guys, so much. All right, let's get through this. Academic reading. Meg can read and understand grade level text after discussion and review questions in small groups. And she can read aloud during the whole or small group lessons with fluency and intonations and expressions. I swear I can read. Anyways. Academic writing. Meg has written 1 narrative essay this year. She is able to independently brainstorm ideas, and she can graphic organize her things and stuff like that, but Meg should focus on expanding her skills and writing multi-paragraph essays, specifically in genre of argumentative and opinion pieces. She does more of essays like something that she's interested in, so we just want to see more argumentative and not so her preference type of essay. Something with a prompt. It is crucial for her to choose specific topics that incorporate descriptive details to effective support and enhance her ideas within the essay. This approach will contribute to depth and persuasive of her writing, allowing her to convey her thoughts more comprehensively. Mathematics. Meg is using 7th grade general education math book and maintains a B- in her special education class. However, she faces challenges consistently, demonstrating all the necessary steps to solve various algebraic problems, and impacting her performance practically on partially on quizzes where she currently holds a D+. To improve Meg's, she should focus on consistently and independently showcasing her work. So she's not showing her work, and we don't know how she's getting those answers. So we just need her to go step by step. It's just process, we'll work through it. Family input on students' current performance. Meg excels at completing homework but takes time to discuss her feelings. Following a incident where Meg ran away. Oh, so this is family's input. So be very clear. So Meg excels at completing her homework. She does it. She has no problem doing it at home. Following an incident, though, Meg ran away at a birthday party, and her mom considers individual counseling. Miss Lee's consulting her husband before deciding or dismissing Meg from counseling service, which she gets at school. Meg is gradually sharing counseling sessions details with her mom. If Meg runs out of the classroom upset, she just really wants to emphasize how important it is that we keep an eye on Meg. Okay? All right, summary of work habits. Short and sweet. Completes and turns in homework on time and asks for help when needed. All right, any questions, concerns? Or can we move on to goals? You guys are so quiet. Okay, so I'm going to take that as my leeway to go into goals. IEP goals. By 12/15/2023, with a graphic organizer, Meg will independently compose multi-paragraph argument essays incorporating at least 3 constructive detail per body paragraph. Goal 2 for math. Meg aims consistently shows all steps in her solving algebraic problems. Specifically, she will target accurate and thorough problem solving, achieving 80% correctness and 80% of opportunities across a quarter, measured through work samples and observations. She's showing her work. Vocational. Meg aims to independently seek help with challenging assignments in special education classes. The objective is to reduce instances of shutting down, pushing things off her desk, and so on. Currently, Meg requires 2 to 4 prompts to ask for help, often resorting or shutting down. It's okay. We all have bad days. but these are things we have observed and have data on. By 12:15, Meg aims to enhance her emotional coping by consistently, this is for emotions, using functional communication when anxious or stressed. The objective is for Meg to ask for help, a break, or express her feelings instead of shutting down or eloping from class. Again, regulating those emotions, asking for help before she gets upset and is in like eloping and refusing to do her work. Language communication. Meg aims to improve her social pragmatic language skills and speech location. The objective is for her to consistently follow discussion rules, listen actively, speaking when called upon, with no more than one verbal prompt for consecutive trials. Actually, she does pretty good at that. Like I call her in class and she's pretty on top of it. So I think we're getting to that goal to be met. But just a little more time. Services, specialized academic. Do you guys have any more questions about goals before I move on? No? Gosh, you guys are so quiet. Specialized academic instruction. These are services provided for all subjects: English, math, science, history, PE, and electives. Totaling 1,400 weekly. Speech. Whoa. Did we do this already? Ha ha ha. Oh, it looks like this is done twice. It's okay. Let's continue. Speech language sessions occur 240 minutes weekly, comprising 30 minutes of small group session per week. Occupational therapy consult, collaboration, and special education classes are located 30 minutes monthly. Any questions? No? So quiet. So she's got a lot of services, and like for special education classes, she gets like she's in like special education classes like all day, every day. And we'll discuss that right now with least restrictive environment, LRE. Meg is presently enrolled exclusively in special education classes due to anxiety, limiting her to participation in general education curriculum, extracurricular, and non-academics with non-disabled peers. This placement is driven by her autism disorder necessities, which is smaller and highly structured class with no more than individualized instruction. While the specialized setting addresses her needs, potential social interactions difficulty in general education settings are acknowledged. Consideration is given to the balance between her and education requirements and fostering social engagement. She experiences a lot of, well, now she goes to a PE class almost every day. In their general education classes, they're considered her buddies, and she sees them. And so we're working for her to see more and talk with her peers. It's just a process. It's new. Any questions or concerns before I move on to extended school year? No? All right, let's move on. Meg's current eligibility does not impede her progress in the general education curriculum, and she is presently not eligible for extended school year services. The decision is grounded in the IEP team's assessment on Meg's past performance and current levels, leading them to conclude that she is not significant risk for regression with limited recruitment in all areas, thus not necessary for ESY. Excuse me. Any questions or concerns? No? Wow, this is the quickest meeting I've ever gone through. Procedural safeguards and prior written notice. That's going to be what we're going to work on, and then we are going to go into my concluding things, and then this IEP meeting is over. Alright, I'm so silly, I know. So silly. Procedural safeguards and written prior notice are key elements in special education, ensuring that parents have legal rights and information to participate meaningfully in the decision about their child's education. Procedural safeguards encompass various rights, including notice, consent, and the parent's right to due process hearing. Prior written notice involves formal written communication to the parents before any proposed changes to a student's identification, evaluation, placement, or provision of education services. Both Both mechanisms aim to protect the rights of parents and students with disabilities, fostering an informed, collaborative decision-making and special education process. Well, we talked about a lot today. Any questions, concerns? Wow, you guys are so quiet. I don't even know if you have questions or don't have questions. But I just want to say, also prior to this meeting, emails were sent out to stakeholders, serving as a form which was prior to written notice. Each participant signed the emails, which is great, because, you know, how are we going to know who's in the meeting if no one signed the prior written notice? Ensuring acknowledgement of the information provided, which is basically what I said. Additionally, Ms. Lee was provided with Ventura's procedural safeguards, offering her a comprehensive understanding of her legal rights and information necessary to be active in the decision process of her child's education. The document serves as a valuable resource to empower Ms. Lee in the decision-making IEP process. All right, we went over so much. So I just want to say thank you again to my IEP team. It was a pleasure. We will now conclude this meeting. If any stakeholders in the IEP annual meeting has any questions or concerns, please stay after. We can, talk about it. I can explain things further, anything that you want to talk about. Also, I just want to point out that don't hesitate or call or email or text, which is provided to you at the bottom of my email signature. You may also stay, again, like I said, a little longer, and we can talk. And if not, and also I will dismiss the other participants so we can talk privately. Sorry, I'm feeling a little tickle in my throat. Anyways, how we're going to conclude this meeting is how I would actively listen and address the needs of my family and other stakeholders. I would actively listen to and address their needs, families, and stakeholders in a meeting. I would create a welcoming environment, use a nonverbal cue, ask clarifying questions, demonstrating empathy, proactive addressing concerns, ensuring equal participation are key strategies. I will qualify expectations, use of open-ended questions, and document actions items throughout the meeting, providing feedback and validation, and summarizing key points during closure. Contribute to fostering collaboration, ensuring that stakeholders need or understand and addressed effectively. All right, yes, all of that and more. I want to make sure my parents, when they go into these IEP meetings, they feel heard, respected. That is why they get the procedural safeguards. We go over those norms, and I just want it to be a fun thing. I feel like IEPs are so stiff sometimes. Sometimes just do a little jiggle, have fun with it. Anyways, or maybe I have too much fun. Well, that is my IEP mock video. It was a pleasure. Bye.